Hello, we are very proud to be performing in front of you. We are Krytear Studios. It's just the three of us. This is Lauren, Spencer, and I am Ryan. And we would like to present to you Krytear.
So the platform that we're going to be going with is consoles, and we're going to be looking at a price point for $49.99.
The reason we're going for console is it's got a very steady, much like PC, console's got a very steady market, very predictable, and from what the future holds along with the Nintendo Switch, we feel that it could grow.
And then our genre is going to be action-adventure, with little aspects of fantasy here and there, but not a lot.
Regarding the story, essentially, what you are going to be doing is there are 3 timelines. This is kind of an adventure between time and dimensions colliding. There is an artifact that all 3 timelines use at the same moment, which causes a cataclysm, a huge event where all of these timelines pile on top of each other. Cultures collide, no one knows what to do, and it is chaos.
The time portal, we have 2 here. It's not so much it is a portal, but it is more of a tear. And the reason why it's called Krytear is the moment it happened, all you could hear for miles around it was what sounded like a painful, painful screech. The artifact, it's completely unknown where it came from. In each time period in which it was used, it was stumbled upon. Each era, starting with the past, the Shaman, they used it as a ritual piece. The humans want to use it to make advanced weapons, and the future androids want to use it to spread. They want people to become more like them.
The shamans are from the first timeline, the first timeline being the past, so to speak. The shamans are very Native American-like in origin. They were the spiritual, changing with the spirits and the spirit realm, very religious.
They're hunter-gatherer in nature. They're, at the time, there aren't a whole lot of them. But this specific tribal gathering has a larger amount than most, mainly because the leader of said tribe is looking to use this relic that they had found to give him the powers of the spiritual realm. And in order to do that, he needs the shaman.
The humans are in the second timeline, which is the world essentially as we know it now. This is our reality as we know it. It's our current advancement level, our current technology and mindset. And the humans find this artifact and want to use it to create more efficient weaponry, because that's essentially, whether we like it or not, how the world is today. Humans want to use it to weaponize the world as they see fit.
Along with that, they can see it not only weaponizing, but in a very capitalist way of thinking, sell it, get money from it, become wealthy, and in which case you become more powerful.
The androids are from the third timeline and are quite possibly my favorite part of our whole idea here. Androids are perfect. They have completely changed how they function. These have gone from human to an advanced species above humans. They are considered perfect, superior, the ultimate final form that humanity can achieve, and in doing so, essentially lost their humanity. They feel no emotion, no sympathy, they have a job and they get it done no matter what.
They feel, as they should, superior to all and want to make more of the inferiorities, the people under them. They want to make them like them, spreading what they are. And how they do that is through nanobot technology. These robots, these androids, were once humans, and they were constructed through the use of nanotechnology. It's how they survive in their world, which is at this point void of all nature. It is all industrial and just efficiency across the board. That is how they're able, that nanobots are how they're able to survive in that sort of climate. They don't need oxygen, they don't need blood, they are fully efficient, and like she said, they get the job done. The mechanics, we're looking at a dynamic environment. If you want to destroy something, go ahead and destroy it, but you have to have the right tools for the job. Choices, you can go ahead and...
The choices in this game do matter. In a lot of current games, such as Telltale, The Walking Dead series, or other games, there's the illusion of choice, where so-and-so will remember that this will matter later, except the outcome is already predetermined, and you just think that you have a choice. In our game, in Krytear, you have a choice that will affect these multiple paths and outcomes and endings and relationships with other characters will change depending on your smallest of actions.
We are primarily single player, but we plan on doing multiplayer where you'll face the three timelines. The three timelines themselves will face off in a given area. There doesn't need to be, we'll add story to which map they're on, but besides that, you already know why they're fighting. They want either to get rid, store, hide the artifact, which is what you're going after in the multiplayer. If you're the shaman, you want to get rid of it, hide it, destroy it. If you're the robots, you want to use it to spread. And if you're the humans, you want to use it to make better weaponry, profit, money. In the multiplayer, the goal is to get to this artifact, and whatever team makes it to that is the winner.
It is primarily single player. However, there would be a multiplayer aspect to it, kind of like Doom 2016, for example, where it's a single player campaign story mode along those lines with capabilities for multiplayer if you so choose.
Yeah, it's primarily single player. We wanted to add the multiplayer to cater a little bit to those who are just looking to go in and fight, to get the adrenaline pumping. This game has a good deal of customization. In the beginning, you get to choose whether you're a shaman, a human, or an android, and each has its own separate path that it will go down. And once you choose this, you can customize your character entirely. And as the story goes on, you'll get new armor, you'll get new weapons, you can customize the way they look on your body, and the way other people will act around you when you have said armor or said weapon. And as you could probably guess by what was earlier talked about, with each timeline having its own little space, it is completely open world. And towards the end of the story, we plan on showing a little collision of all three as time starts to collapse.
Picture a high-tech skyscraper being overrun with vines and ivies. That would be the android's timeline or dimension, whatever you prefer to call it, being overrun and meshing with the shamans, causing a collision of just not quite sensical enough.
So I'm going to be talking about the psychographic profile. So we're going to want people that are going to be able to not necessarily believe this stuff will happen, but can envision it to make it so it's something they will like to play. So people are going to enjoy this if they like stories, to go through the story and make choices and have the choices affect what their story becomes, because your choices affect the story. There's going to be lots of customization, so that's another thing. People who like customization are going to like this game. And then I'm going to talk about the motivational model. Our top three that we have are affiliation for when we have the multiplayer. People are going to be able to team up and then battle against the other eras that we have. The exploration's pretty huge because we have an open world in our story mode, so you're going to be able to go all over the place and explore. And then the creativity with the customization is also going to be a really big one as well. Any questions?
Nice presentation.
Okay, you said our choices do some matter if we have the right tools for a job. So, okay, let's say we're in the future and I drop a nuclear bomb. Will there be nuclear fallout and like actual chemical cloud that's like, hey, you can't walk over this area because this is a danger zone, or you'd be like increasing radiation?
That would have to be part of the mechanics.
Yeah, it would depend on if we put that in the game. But I could see that happening if we wanted to go that route. Yeah, we'll give you a set options to choose from, and they would change depending on. Right? Or I don't want to talk for everybody, but.
Glasses in the front.
Okay, so for like, you said there's like 3 separate like timelines that are kind of colliding. Is that like all in the in-game world that, you know, your explorable world is, your android area in this area, you have your shamans, and then your humans are all kind of in different like sections of the map, or
I think it's
are you like traveling in time?
There are very small areas that would be exclusive to shamans over here, androids over here, humans over here, but for the most part, it's overlapping.
Okay,
It's-
so you have like
Okay, I was
combination.
wondering that
Yeah.
myself, actually, just, I could tell if it was all, like, all 3 realms just merged together throughout the entire world and just everything was chaos everywhere.
So it's like
or
merged
just
together
the
except like
repairs
some
and-
areas.
It's mostly merged.
It's gonna be merged, but then I would see the different eras gathering up.
Maybe you have like humans
You know,
right
different in
here,
different towns and
like
cities. You know.
shamans right here, and then these are exclusive, but then in between you have kind of a mixable.
Precisely.
Yeah, in the same worlds. Yeah, and it's all together, but coexisting.
So then if you choose like,
Also,
oh sorry, okay, so then if you choose like a like the shaman, you start in like a shaman area, or like carry out the story of a shaman, or
Yes, each class, or race rather, would have a specific storyline.
okay, I got you.
With different characters, like if you are a shaman, you would probably have the tribe leader that you're talking to, and other shaman characters that would follow that story path. And robots would have, their leader and their other characters that you wouldn't interact with if you were a shaman or a human, because we wanted a certain amount of replayability.
Gotcha.
So, who are we?
At the
And what are we trying to do?
At the beginning, it's your choice. You get to choose either being a shaman.
What am I doing?
You're trying to get to the artifact. If you're a shaman, you want to destroy it or hide it away to where it won't be found. If you're a human, you want to use it for the purpose of making better, more efficient weapons. And if you're an android, you want to spread. You want everyone to be exactly what you are.
So, as a player, I choose one of the 3 starting positions.
Yep.
I'm not sure races will be right, but timeline.
You said like eras, like different
And
things.
then you have specific victory conditions for that race, if you will.
Somewhat. It's notable that that's your timeline's intentions is to hide it away or use it to spread, but because
Do we know why we're hiding it?
When this moment where every era tried to use it, the ritual with the shamans where they're trying to give their leader spiritual power, humans trying to use it for, when everyone used it at that one moment, it showed its true power and opened up this portal. The shaman want this power to be hidden away. They do not want this in the wrong hands or necessarily even the good hands. The humans, they don't really show that they want to shut it down, but they don't really show that. They see it as more as a goal. They want it just so they can win. And the androids, they don't want it to close. They want their realm or their time to merge with everybody else, to making it easier to spread.
the shamans see it as a religious omen.
I think you need a little more depth in terms of each perspective, a little more depth in terms of what and why and who they are, what the names are, what the cults are, what the government is, what missions you're going to be going on, so you have a little bit more solid context of what we're doing as a player. Also, the players have skills.
Not necessarily a skill tree. You get level up points every time you do level up, which is done by,
What do you do with the points?
you can make it to where you run faster or you hit harder. You can,
Which could be like a skill.
You basically have an RPG. Essentially, you're increasing capabilities through playing experience.
yes.
We did talk about the skills as kind of a currency as well, to maybe make it, when you level up, you have a certain amount of currency points that you can use to exchange it for a faster run speed, or upgrades if you're an android, or potions or something if you're a shaman. We did bounce that idea around, so.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
You can shoot.
Okay. Is this all supposed to be like in the same world but at different points in time, or are these just adjacent dimensions that collided in on each other?
At the beginning of the story, it is what you said, their own separate world. But as it starts to open, as the Krytear opens, they all start to merge. And you can, if you go up to the portal and actually try to use it, you can bounce from world to world. But eventually, that won't even be necessary because it'll all be one.
So you said that each of the different dimensions, each of the different timelines try to use the artifact at the same time. Did all three artifacts merge into one, and that's all you're trying to find is the one actual artifact, or are you looking for each of those artifacts individually?
That was what we were trying to understand ourselves. When we looked at it, we saw that it was one item in separate times, but then when the Krytear opened, it did become three instead of one. They all became their own individual thing, instead of in one time it is this, and it has been that way throughout the timelines. We thought of it like there's
So is
three.
this three chunks of one world, three different snapshots of that timeline, or is it three different adjacent worlds? Because you just said that it's three separate worlds.
It's three worlds colliding.
So, but you're also saying that it's one world at different points in time. So which one is it?
Depending on which start. You get a different storyline with each different start, giving it more replayability.
I think something very like we have the different worlds with the whole three-dimensional playing area. And that is the one thing that intersects all of them, and that's where your
So
artifact is.
they're basically all the same time, just different worlds at different points.
Yes.
And
That's my understanding.
Yes, and that is correct.
Question. Alright, let's say I'm going to use the Android for a second, because I like it. Let's say I want to be an Android, but I don't want to spread. What if do I have to particularly have to spread, that's my home objective, or do I wait, I can just use this and blow up the planet or something?
Well, that's your people's objective, again, because this is choice-based. You don't have to go along with them, but your relationships with certain characters will waver.
So, it's a big fix, but so then is it a hive mind or is it just in the programming that everyone wants to?
It's like a programming. We thought if it was more of a hive mind, then we couldn't really incorporate the choices into it.
Well, actually, you could have just like the android somehow gets disconnected, and it's the thing that's more or less making him emotionless gets like messed up, so that he actually does care about making choices and all that. But I also like to say that's kind of similar to Cybermen from Doctor Who a bit, but.
Okay, so like you mentioned something about like it being actionable. Like, what's the combat like? Scene? Like, I assume there's fighting. I don't think it's like just like running after.
With all this battle going on looking for the artifact, you can pick up one of several weapons, but they go into the category of gun, melee, or ranged. Gun is kind of ranged, but more so ranged. Like, in the range category, there could be a sniper, there could be a longbow, and then there could be like a laser cannon. And with the melee, it could be knuckles, it could be a club, or it could be some sort of pulling out a fallout like a shock baton. Something like that.
So is it kind of like specific to the like race that you have?
At the beginning, but as it starts to merge, you can pick up whatever you find on the ground. You can, like, if you're in a certain area where there's fighting going on, you can pick up a dead soldier's weapon.
Well, like if I was like a shaman, like, are you kind of like also converting? Because like if I was like a shaman, I don't know if would know how to use like a laser cannon or
Well, honey, you're gonna learn.
That's going to go along with the intelligent points, with the skill tree.
Okay, so you gotta kind of have to like accumulate intelligent points to
Yes.
like pick up these weapons. Then?
In order, you can pick them up, but you won't know how to use them.
Efficiently.
Yeah. Like a shaman, for example, if they pick up a gun, they're not going to know how to use it, so they might just swing it around at people.
Okay,
Which I
and
mean,
like
gets-
after you get like certain intelligence points, then they can actually like shoot it.
Yeah. Like through the experience of this war going on, you learn how it's used and can incorporate that.
And for something more like an android, maybe there would be like knuckles, like the melee things. Well, we're so advanced, we haven't had to do this primitive hand-to-hand combat thing for such a long time, so I don't really know how to punch or whatever.
Just one more question. On the vein of being able to just like go against your race's like desires, would I be able to theoretically side with a different race, like if I wanted to? Would I be able to, as a shaman per se, be able to side with the androids instead? Maybe I want to be assimilated. Is that something I could do and like then complete the quest from their side?
It's certainly possible, but again, you would be kind of making enemies with what you were originally.
And then there could be a thing where like the robots don't even want you, so like maybe you won't even be able to side with them because they don't want to side with you, kind of thing. But that's all up in the air. We could make all kinds of choices based on choices.
I would recommend on this, I think everything's a very interesting concept, and it's certainly stirred a lot of imagination. There's lots of possibilities with this. A question that you start from a particular perspective, and play from that perspective. And the reason I question that is because you don't have a good sense of who we are as a character. There's no sense of tragedy or loss. There's no sense of what's normal, and then something changes. I think I'd recommend, I'm going to build upon something that Avery said, that you start as a human, and you have no particular allegiance to anything. And as you start to play the game, you choose then, do you want to go and help the shamans, do you want to side with the corporations and the humans, or do you want to side with the androids and actually become an android, if you will. It might actually be a whole series of quests along that line. I'm thinking very similar to how Fallout 4 works. You come out and you're just you're in a whole new world. And in this case, the whole new world is boom, the whole place blew up, and now it's all crazy. You have some futuristic stuff, you have some saber-tooth tigers over here and shapeshifters, and you have normal humans, and everybody's confused, and you have to make choices. I think that would speak more to the player wanting to answer those questions and actually play through. So I play through and go this way, I'll play through again and go another way. And I think there's a lot more you can do with that in terms of bringing the human element of the story into your simulation and your premise and backstory. I think there's a lot more possibility on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely understand what you're
Yeah,
saying.
that kind of concept would be more like the play rather than, okay, here's these three sides you pick. That sort of feels a little bit like a StarCraft. And that's kind of an RTS. It's like, yes, there's a premise, but it's over there. It's not who I am. It's not who I'm playing. It's RPG player. I think that's something that you want to bring into it. You want to get the player's soul into the game, into the character. If you're into the customization, then do that. And it'd be kind of cool, right, to play part of the game and decide you don't want to become an android and actually create your android body as the nanobots take over you. Or on the other side, maybe it's a shapeshifter of some sort, when you become part lion or something and part human, or shapeshift from one to the other. That would be really interesting. So you have some options there with that. It's actually really fascinating. It also increases your social ability, because then I'll be talking, what animal did you choose, and how did it look, and what abilities did you take? And it creates dialogue, and the more dialogue you create with this, the more people you talk about it, the more they talk about it, the more they want to play. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments?
Okay. Originally, there were going to be. I was going to make kind of an animatic trailer for this. That would kind of be like the first cutscene, which is a point of view thing when you don't know exactly what you are, and then would go to the character selection screen. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, that was
That's okay.
unable
You
to
guys
be
did a
achieved.
great job. This was really well done.